Diving on coral reefs on numerous islands, Vanuatu has a lot to offer for your next dream vacation. But football has also been able to attract attention and put the country on the world stage once. When that was and what else makes football in the island state special, I'll tell you today. Vanuatu is an island state in the South Pacific and has a population of just over 300,000. The capital Port Vila alone is home to 50,000 of them, and the city is also the economic center of the country. In colonial times, the territory was called the New Hebrides, but since 1980, Vanuatu has been independent from France and Great Britain. The beginnings of football history also date back to colonial times. The first matches took place in the 1950s as New Hebrides, but since independence the territory has been officially known as Vanuatu. According to sources, the National Association, the Vanuatu Football Federation, or VFF for short, was even founded in 1934, but there are hardly any records or documentation from that time. The history of the league, on the other hand, is not so old, but it has run under different names over the years. Until 2009, for example, there was the VFF Bread Cup, in which Vanuatu's ticket for the OFC Champions League was decided. In the meantime, the competition is called the VFF Champions League, and the participants come from various local leagues. The biggest and arguably strongest league is the Port Vila Vodafone Premier League from the capital. The players in all the leagues are not professionals and go to work as well as playing football. 8 teams compete in the league, and for many years there was a serial champion, Tafea FC. The club has won a total of 16 titles and has also participated in the Champions League 9 times. This year, however, the strongest team is Ifira Blackbird FC, who are at the top of the table. All the teams in the league come from the capital, and the winner is also favored to win the title of national champions in the VFF Champions League. Another strong team is Galaxy, who secured the title in 2020. Bong Kalo, one of the biggest stars of football on the island, plays there, and we were able to talk to him about the strength of the league. Bong Kalo was the captain of the legendary under-20 national team that was able to participate in the 2017 World Cup in South Korea, and thus the leader of the team that was able to represent Vanuatu outside of Oceania for the first time. There, he was so convincing that he was even able to move to Europe and play for FC Ascona in Switzerland.
Okay, now some of our club in Vanuatu, they pay football players. Only some, but some they just go to work and come and play. Here we have Division 1, Division 2, then Premier. So Premier is the highest level here.
In 2022, the OFC Champions League will also start again. After a long corona break, the qualifying round starts in June and there are 2 teams in the national playoffs. Bong Kalo's Galaxy and Ruru FC, also from Port Vila, will play for the starting spot in 2 matches. Teams have been successful in the tournament in the past. Vanuatu teams have reached the final 3 times, with only the title still missing. Tafea FC reached the final in 2001, while Amikale FC have reached the final twice. In 2014 they came very close to winning, drawing 1-1 in the first leg, only to be beaten by Auckland City in the second leg due to a late goal. Chikau Mansale, the national keeper, received the Golden Glove of the tournament and the Vanuatu fans the Fair Play Award. The national team has not come this close to an international title before, but it too can look back on some successes in its history. It all started with a match against New Zealand in 1951, when they lost 0-9. Their first big international appearance came in 1973, when they took part in the first edition of the OFC Nations Cup. 5 teams took part, Vanuatu at that time still as New Hebrides. By beating Fiji, they were able to collect 3 points and reach 4th place. A great success was the victory at the Melanesia Cup in 1990. A local tournament between all the Melanesian countries. Fiji, Papua New Guinea, New Caledonia, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu took part. In the meantime, the tournament no longer exists. I asked Bong how much the people are rooting for the team and how the international matches are going in Port Vila.
When we go there, or like they say, oh, That's our team. We're going for Vanuatu. They all come and support Vanuatu. They go cheer for Vanuatu out in grandstand. Like then we show them. We say, oh, this is Vanuatu. Yeah, it's Vanuatu. If we play for them. Them and the crowd back home, the people back home in Vanuatu.
In the 2000s, they attracted attention with good results in the OFC Nations Cup, finishing fourth 3 times. In the last edition in 2016, however, the team only managed to finish 7th. Nevertheless, 2016 was a special year for Vanuatu, as the under-20 national team reached the final of the Nations Cup in their age group, losing to New Zealand but earning a ticket to the 2017 Under-20 World Cup in South Korea. It was the first time the country had been represented on the big stage. As captain, Bong Kalo then led the team into the tournament.
That time was great, and I was joyful because that time I was captain. We go through blind challenge, but our boys, I told the boys, if we go there, make sure you have to do your best. We have to do our best because we represent all how much play in Vanuatu, we represent them.
The draw brought good opponents, with Venezuela, Mexico and the big Germany waiting in the group stage. Vanuatu versus Germany on the 26th of May 2017 was the day. But even before, those who would have expected the team not to be able to compete at this level were proved wrong. Bong Kalo was the strongest player from the start, and there was a narrow 3-2 defeat against Mexico in the opening match. Bong scored once. After a clear defeat against Venezuela, the team impressed against Germany. Again, it was only a narrow 2-3 defeat, this time Bong even scored twice. Opposite him were players like Suhat Serdar, who later became a German national player. We traveled back to the tournament with Bong.
So if we go there, we have to do something well to bring back happiness to people in Vanuatu. So that's why we go there. Some of country like Germany, Mexico, we do a good challenge for them. We play a good challenge. That was a great moment for me because I was got three goals. 2 against Germany, 1 against Mexico. It was a fantastic moment for me.
Bong then ventured into Europe and played in Switzerland, becoming one of the first international players to try his hand as a professional abroad. He has since returned to play in his homeland, but he was able to leave footprints. In the current national team, 3 players play abroad. The biggest star is probably Brian Caltech, who even had a trial with A-League club Central Coast Mariners in April 2022. In addition, Jared Clark plays for Croydon Kings, a semi-professional club from Australia. Mitch Cooper is also a big name. He also plays in Australia for Hume City FC. He has 5 goals in 6 international matches so far. At this year's OFC World Cup qualifiers in Qatar, Vanuatu were scheduled to take part, but a COVID outbreak in the squad prevented the team from participating. Bong would have missed the tournament due to injury, but of course he followed the situation closely in March.
Unfortunately, we miss out for this tournament, but it's not finished yet. We have to work hard and look for another day. Yeah?
It is difficult to look ahead as the Vanuatu team has not come together for a long time and now, due to Corona, could not compete in 2022. Many young players and leaders in their prime, such as Brian Caltech and Bong Kalo, could provide greater success, but the OFC Association has arguably been hit hard by Corona like no other in the world. Vanuatu narrowly lost to Fiji in 2 friendlies ahead of the 2022 tournament, but that is no indication of how well the team can really perform. So we will have to wait for the Champions League performances of the club teams or the 2023 Pacific Games for the national team to make a judgment on the level of football in Vanuatu. Either way, Vanuatu remains a great island nation that exudes a lot of enthusiasm for football and is an exciting member of the world football community. I'll stay in touch with Bong and you'll see and hear him again on this channel at the Pacific Games next year at the latest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything on our Football World Tour. See you then!